So for those of you who have been following along, the last time I flew the 210R, I had a motor that smoked itself. So the motor has been repaired, and this is not really the maiden flight. I did a test flight, but this is the you know, let's actually give it to her flight and see what it does. Heavy quad thing, that was just that failed motor. I mean, this thing is certainly heavier, but it's flying way better than I had hoped it would. Here's the tip of the day. I got a couple decent flights in. Let's change this card. That's what we gotta do. Carrying on with that tip, when you put the card in the camera, format it. If you don't, it has a tendency to delete footage because you'll end up with bad spots on the card and it won't write over them. So if you format it, it cleans out the card entirely. Just make sure it's an empty card. I know this one's an empty. I went through them and formatted them all earlier, but just to be safe, because I've had it stop for like 5 minutes. So there we go. So I'm pretty sure I just lost the GoPro. Quad went down, tumbled, and the whole thing came straight off the quad. The GoPro frame and all. This sucks. The good news is I got a bunch of light left. The bad news is I gotta find this thing. So do the old trick that I know what to do is find the scene of the crime where the quad went down and just make circles and keep circling hopefully until you find it. And just make bigger passes every time, and that allows you to cover all the grounds, and hopefully that will yield me a GoPro. So I'm uncertain if the GoPro has a feature where you can turn it on to beep, but I do have signal. I'm getting further from it. Yes! I found it. Right there. Yes! That took about 10 minutes. I found it. Woohoo! Yes! And it's still intact. Not a scratch on it. Yes! So the trick was, it was still on. Yeah, okay, inactivity alarm. So however long the trainer says inactivity alarm for, that's how long it took me to find it. So anyway, the trick is, if the GoPro still has power, you can use your cell phone. It gives you signal bars. Then you can use that to kind of, sorry about that. So you can use the GoPro signal on your phone in the app and kind of pinpoint which direction and how close you are to it, and kind of grab a perimeter around it. Once you grab that perimeter, things are a lot easier. So the bad news is I almost shut the thing off. The good news is you can't shut it off while it's recording. The other bad news was the sun was going down and I only had 65% battery power. The good news is that was totally enough. I'm so happy I found this thing. That means I got more crash footage for you guys, and it means I get to keep my GoPro. And the best news of all, there's literally not a scratch on this thing. Right there, the housing is still good, and I don't feel like littering because I only lost one of these guys. I'd say that was successful. Sweet.